Hey guys, welcome to this video where we're going to be exploring the topic of selling for introverts. Now, before we start, I'm going to ask you a question. Have you ever either asked yourself that or heard other people say, you need to be a born salesperson in order for you to sell well? And as an introvert, there is no way you can sell well. Well, if this applies to you, this video is for you, so keep watching. Hey, before we start, I just wanted to quickly introduce myself. My name is Alex. I'm the founder of Elite Closers Club, a sales mentoring program that helps you become a better salesperson through developing very specific skills that you will need in your sales career. We started this channel to provide free tips that you can learn on your own and basically improve your sales game. If you want to learn more about our program, there's a link on the bottom of this video. Otherwise, keep watching. If you like these type of videos, please like and subscribe to our channel. It helps us tremendously to grow it, and you won't miss the next video that comes up. All right, let's dive right into the video. So it's very common for introverts to believe that sales is a domain of extroverts. You have to be outgoing and you have to be boisterous in order for you to sell well. Well, in my 20-year plus career, I can tell you that that's not exactly true. Sales is all about developing the right skills and practicing those skills over and over again in order for you to become amazing at sales. It doesn't apply personality types, because I've seen all kinds of personalities do phenomenal in sales. It's more related to how much you effort perfecting your sales ability and essentially the skills that you're developing. So in most cases, the reason why introverts have trouble is because it goes against their nature, so to say, to be outgoing and open with people, right? But that's exactly where a sales framework comes in, because, like, for example, if this doesn't come naturally to you, you'll have difficulty having a conversation about a sales topic with somebody. But if you know step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, what to ask, what to do next in the sales process, this will be very easy for you. And once you mastered it, it's really, really simple to follow. In most cases, the reason why introverts don't do well is because they just don't know the framework. It's as simple as that. So let's begin here. I want to kind of go over it. I actually have another video describing all of this stuff in detail, but let's just recap it really quick just so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so the first thing in any sales process is essentially developing the trust of the person you're talking to, right? So, if you talking to somebody new and they don't trust you, chances are you're not going to have a very good conversation. But if they trust you, like, they'll open up to you. They'll have no problem sharing with you anything they have going on, right? So that's the first thing we need to do in the sales process, is to develop this trust, like open them up. It's called the rapport building stage. So the second thing you need to do after you kind of open them up and, get a little bit of trust going, is that you actually need to talk about whether they even qualify to work with you. Not every person you talk to are going to be this perfect candidate to work with you, right? As a matter of fact, most of them will not be a perfect candidate. So that's why the second stage is to qualify. And I actually have another video about that can help you qualify them better. The main idea for this qualification stage is literally just finding out what they're struggling with. You want to find out whether you can help them with something, right? And after asking a whole bunch of questions, at the end of the day, what you're gonna end up is you gonna know exactly what their problem is and how you can help them. After you've done this, you will know what the issues are, so it's time for you to actually present your services or your product. And the way you do it is that you need to kind of position it in a way that it will seem to your client that your solution is exactly the solution they need to solve their problem. This is a main part, linking your services and product to the problem that they're having, that they're looking to solve. That's the biggest part of this whole process. Now, the next step after that, what could happen is that, they will have some more questions. And most of the time when they have questions, you just didn't do that previous step really well, like explaining to them how your service will solve their specific problem they're handling, because you already found that out in the previous steps. So they all link together, you see. And if they do have additional questions though, you just need to answer them. It's very simple. And finally, after it's all said and done, all you need to do is just ask for a sale. It's literally just going, hey, would you like to do some business together? Do you want to buy from me? Do you want to get started with this? It's pretty easy to say, but a little bit difficult to do without practice, especially for introverts, right? So again, it's all about developing these skills one by one. And there are some industries that will require a longer sales cycle, right? So for example, if you're in corporate sales of some sort, I've done it before where the sales cycle is like 3 years, right? And you need to follow up with the client and maintain that relationship with them after you had a really good sales call with them in the first place. So all you need to do is just follow up with them as much as possible until they tell you basically, I don't want to do business with you, right? And that's it. And then the next step is literally just signing a contract and getting that sale. So the main point what I'm trying to make is that the whole sales process is just about understanding people. It's actually more about communication than it is quote unquote sales, right? You don't want to be selling at all. All you need is just talk to people. And the key point also is that once you've learned this sales framework, the step-by-step process of how to sell, what to say, when and why, what you're going to do is you need to master it. You need to master it to the point where you're 100% comfortable with it, and you can literally do this over and over again and you'll get the same results. But then you can start breaking the rules. You can start experimenting and getting creative. So essentially, it's one of those things where you learn it first, reach mastery, and then break all the rules because you know it so well that you know where to push boundaries. So this framework that I mentioned, it's pretty mechanical, right? It's pretty simple to understand. It's literally step by step, ask questions, do this, do this, do this, do this. However, the truth is that for an introvert, there will be problems like specific skills that they will need to develop during that, because some of it goes against their nature, right? Some of it's really difficult for them to do. And, they might be they have natural kind of personality tendencies like being shy, or not wanting to be pushy in any way, and thinking that they will offend the other person, right? Which is there's nothing wrong with those personality traits. However, you need to overcome them in the sales process, because the sales process is mechanical. So there is a little bit of a personality conflict that will happen 100%. I can almost guarantee you. So how do you overcome those? Obviously, one option is just to say, listen, I don't want to do sales because it really doesn't feel right to me, and I don't want to be developing these skills. But in some cases, you want to do sales because maybe it's your business, maybe it's something that's important to you, right? So sales is part of that important part. So what do? Well, what I would recommend highly is eat the elephant one piece at a time. So elephant is a big task for you to do. It's, changing some parts of your personality, at least temporarily, when you're talking to somebody, right? And it's not as easy as just saying, well, just do it, right? It's not as easy. So what do? Well, very, very easy is to simplify the skills that you need to develop. So let's take an example of rapport building, right? There's many different rapport building techniques, and you can get really lost in learning all of them. At its core, all rapport building is just finding things in common with the person you're talking to. It's as easy as that. And because what you're trying to do is find these things that are in common with them, you can practice that in any setting of your life. So for example, anytime you're talking to somebody new, all you have to do is just focus on that one thing about finding commonalities in what they are saying with you, right? So give examples, or I also do this. I also. So just get into the habit of looking for commonality when you talk to people. This has nothing to do with changing your core personality. It's literally just focusing on one particular thing that you do and then helping yourself develop this habit to do this over and over again. Another example is leading the sales conversation, right? So in order for you to do sales well, you really need to become a leader in a conversation, not a follower, right? And a lot of introvert people think that that's being pushy. Well, it's true, in some way it is, but it's all about your mindset. So you can think of it as pushy, or you can think of it as just asking questions to the person you're talking to, right? Wouldn't you want to be curious about them and really learn about them at a deep level? Well, that's exactly what you're doing in a sales environment, where your goal is to be naturally curious and find out specific details that you want to know about them, right? So learn that. It's very simple. Anytime you're talking to somebody, just learn asking them more questions. Dig deeper, dig on sub levels of the information that you want to get. So, asking, like, start at general questions. What do you do? And then you go deeper. How do you do it? Why do you do it? What drives you? Be like an interviewer, right? And the more you practice, again, it becomes just supernatural to you, and you will really get in the habit of getting the right information from the person without being pushy at all. It has nothing to do with being pushy. It's just asking questions. So in the final advice I would give you, it's something that my dad told me actually. He goes, you really do in life have to fake it until you make it, right? Bottom line, that's the reality of things, right? You cannot learn a new skill or learn to do something new by becoming good at it right away. So you kind of need to pretend that you're good at it in the beginnings, right? In the beginning, because the truth is that this will take effort, right? This will be difficult for you because it goes against the natural way you do things, and because it goes against the natural way you do things, it will be difficult. It's as simple as that. But the good news is that if you are able to fake it, quote unquote fake it, right? Over time, what you're going to do is you become this master at doing this skill, right? Like you will learn different levels at it. So I always bring an example of acting. Acting actually is a weird thing because it goes in line with sales, because in sales, it really isn't about you and how you are as a person. It really isn't. It's all about the client that you're talking to, right? And because of that, acting is like that. An actor becomes a character for a brief period of time. And I would highly, highly recommend, if you're having trouble with this type of thinking, like you need to quote unquote pretend to be something that you're not, take acting lessons, because it would truly help you change your mindset about how you think about it. Because at the core, actor does not change their personality ever. They just learn to become that other person that they need to become for a short period of time. And it's the same thing in sales. You need to become that other person or mimic the person you're talking to for a short period of time in order for you to get some sort of an outcome, right? So anyways, this is just some advice that like based on my career. So I hope it helps. If you do find these videos helpful, I would super appreciate if you can subscribe, like, and share this video so that you can follow us and not miss any upcoming videos. If you want to learn more about our training program, our sales training program, Elite Closers Club, there will be a link in the bottom of this video where you can click and find out a little bit more about how we do things and why we do things. Okay, thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next video.